Revelation 2373. From the 18th of June 1942. School of the Spirit on Earth and in the Hereafter. Life on Earth can be called a school of the Spirit for the human being, and if he makes use of all possibilities he can be full of knowledge at the end of life and thus be able to carry out the new task in the beyond. This task consists of being a useful member of the community, which is responsible for the work of education. Of educating ignorant and immature souls on earth as well as in the beyond. For ignorance is an unfree and defective state which should be remedied. This task must be supported by profound love because it is arduous and requires infinite patience. Knowledge must be imparted to the ignorant on God's behalf by beings which are capable of it. That is, which are knowledgeable themselves. Thus the former must consciously want to serve God through it, then they can be admitted to the teaching activity. Earth is a schoolhouse in which every human being can attain maturity if he does not resist the education on the part of those teaching forces. Everything is made clear to him through creation, and his thoughts will always be directed towards knowledge but can also go their own way. Thus the work of education can also be unsuccessful for the individual person or his soul. Then this work has to be continued in the beyond, often with great difficulties and resistance. However, the being is no longer a useful member in the kingdom of the eternal until it is also willing and able to be active in teaching, for an unspeakable number of souls still have to be educated in the school of the Spirit. And this also requires many forces which want to and can pass on the knowledge. The Spirit in every human being's soul is able and willing to receive all knowledge, yet it is often held captive by the soul so that its contact with the Divine Spirit outside itself is made impossible, which therefore has to be understood such that the spiritual beings, which want to impart knowledge on God's behalf through mental emanations, are prevented in their intention by the soul, by the human being's will, which denies these thoughts access to the Spirit within. In exactly the same way the endeavor of the knowing powers is resisted in the beyond and their teaching activity is prevented. But as long as the soul lacks knowledge it is also hapless, it is immature, knows nothing, recognizes nothing and is blind in spirit, and if a soul in need of help approaches it, it cannot offer it anything because it possesses nothing itself. This is a shortcoming which has a painful effect and yet is not considered in earthly life, otherwise people would make it their business to successfully pass through the school of the Spirit. They don't believe how necessary they need the knowledge and how their own fate and that of many other souls depends on this knowledge, for the imparting of knowledge only brings about a state of happiness. And the being can only impart knowledge when it has previously acquired it in the school of the Spirit. Earthly life can be fully sufficient to bring the human being the right knowledge, thus he can have absorbed a measure of knowledge during this time which ensures him a happy state in the beyond, because he is now able to distribute his knowledge and, as a teaching force, fulfills a task again which is given to every soul. For this task is the epitome of the act of salvation, because through its fulfillment the darkness is banished and all beingness is conveyed to the light. Amen.